Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. So we are going to be going over some news articles and talking about a few things here that we're doing here locally to try and combat some of the food issues that we're facing in the world today. So the article that we're pinning, we're going to make sure there's a link down in the description for you where you can click that and read the entire article, but we've picked out some of the information for you so you can see it here on the video if you don't want to go through a long article. But basically what they're saying is rainwater is not safe to drink. And the reason for that is there's some kind of a PFSA or PFOA chemical in the rainwater, which is basically, it sounds like coming from plastics and stuff like that. And it's been absorbed up into the atmosphere. And when it rains that back down in there. And this stuff causes all kinds of conditions from cancer to pregnancy issues, infertility. They even saying it's caused high cholesterol and stuff like that as well. And the levels are 3 times as high as what the EPA would actually recommend to consume. It will make you sick and it can kill you over time is what they're saying. So for those of you, when we were doing our gardening series earlier in the spring, there were a lot of people talking about, it seems like there's something in the rainwater that was killing their plants. And I had noticed some issues out here because you get a lot of issues like rust and stuff, and that's usually some sort of a chemical or a bacterial type of a deal going on with your plants. And it can be hard to combat that, especially when it's coming through your rainwater. So here's some of the clips from that article, folks. Just when you think you're getting ahead and you go, let's collect rainwater, that's going to be great to water our gardens, it's going to be great to be able to drink stuff. No, sounds like it's contaminated as well. So what can you do to purify that water? Well, you're going to need some severe filtration systems. Understand this isn't just a bacterial thing or something like that you could boil out of the water, guys. This is actually like microplastics and stuff that's in our water source apparently. So you can filter that out. You're going to have to get some really good filters for that. So definitely be stocking up on some filters. There's a lot of great options out there, so I would recommend doing that. This is why I always say, though, make sure you put in a well. Make sure it's a deep water well. Beyond 100 feet deep is the best way to go. And yes, it is expensive, but you're going to have a guaranteed water source, and you can create ways where you can pull that water up. Now, I know there's a lot of people that talk about digging a hand well. Understand digging a hand well, that's becoming kind of a lost art. And if you're talking about getting down into reservoirs that are 100 feet deep, that's going to be almost impossible. Most of the time that was just below the surface type waters that people were hitting underground streams and stuff. But if you want to go for that, go ahead and give it a try. But I would recommend making sure that you have wells put in. You want a deep well. That way you have good drinking water. It's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for your plants as well. The well out here is 190 feet deep. Did not have to go that deep, but that is what the depth is that we went because we wanted good water that you don't really have to filter, but we like to filter it because Florida's water down here is kind of funky. I'm just not going to lie about it, man. It can be kind of weird. So we use a lot of different types of filters and stuff. So on the main house, we use the reverse osmosis system, and that works great. That gets rid of all the kind of weird smells that might come after it rains and stuff. But when it's leading to like the RVs and things like that, we're using a lot of carbon scrubber filters and stuff, and that really helps with that as well. That's more or less just to take any flavor out of it. There's not really anything in the water that's going to hurt you because it is a deep water well. Now, if you go with them shallow wells, you run into a lot of issues with pollutions and fertilizers and stuff like that can contaminate the water source. That's why I recommend doing a deep water well. So some other news for you guys as well is we went out today, got some more feed and all that stuff that's coming out, and I was trying to determine what I need to do with my rooster. Either I need to move them into the pen with the hens or go ahead and butcher them out, but I really wanted to breed. So something I had been doing over the last few days is I had started letting my rooster out just so he can mull around the pen, and I sit out there with him because I do not want to hawk to get my bird. So when I came out today, and he had somehow or another, I'm guessing a raccoon or something, had jimmied one of the locks on the thing. I don't know. But he managed to get out of his pen, and he'd flipped his gate up, and he was standing out by the solar panels waiting on me to come by with some food, and he just joined right in with the hens. It was pretty nice. So here's some little clips of that, guys. again, slow process. You're talking, week, 2 weeks introducing your birds. Even when they're side by side, you want to make sure that your hens are ready to receive him. And they were ready to receive him because he wasn't even in the coop 10 seconds and he started into breeding, guys. But yeah, so chickens are kind of weird animals. But hey, the great thing about this is now I will be having the fertilized chicken eggs, and we're going to start after this hurricane season passes. I am not even going to attempt incubating right now with hurricane season approaching, but we're going to start hatching out some of those eggs. We're going to take this small coop that we got from my brother, and we're going to take that and we're going to move that probably up here to the front where the garden's at, and let them just pick through all the growth that's coming up, and that's just going to be a really great way to feed them. It's not going to cost anything extra, but it's also going to get that garden prepared for next spring. I don't think I'm going to put a winter garden in. I want to rest my soil for a few months. I'm going to be tilling that over and trying to deal with more of this weed issue because this was an old field and we have a lot of weeds, and the weeds will overtake real quick if you're not out there every couple of days hoeing out the garden. So that's kind of the plan right now. We'll get that moved up and then we'll get some eggs hatched out, and once they are ready to go and leave the brooder, we're going to move them into that pen and just kind of move that pen around out there where the garden's at. And that's going to fertilize the ground for one, but it's also going to be kind of a free source of feed for those birds as well, because there's all kinds of stuff still growing out there. There's still some spinach growing out there, a little bit of kale and stuff like that as well, where we didn't get it all up out before some of those weeds took over those areas. Our corn's coming in nice. Okra is still developing like crazy, so we're going to keep that part of the garden going as long as we can. But the rest of it, I'm not going to be too concerned about it. Now, come October, we're going to be looking, well, more like mid-September, we're going to be looking at putting in maybe some more zucchini plants, just because they do like a little bit more rain than most of your plants. And those can start producing until, say this January, when we start getting our frost and stuff around out here. So we're going to just kind of test and see how that goes. It would be nice to get a few more zucchinis in. But anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're enjoying the content, folks. Try to bring you the news as it comes in, stuff that I feel that is important to us. There may be some things we miss on this channel, but like I say, we try to prep for things that are a little easier to prep for people that are prepping on a budget. Because if you have plenty of money, sure, that's fine. You can go out and you just get all the food you need right off the bat, and you're set. But not everybody lives in that type of a situation. So we'll try to show you what you can do around the house here to give you some sustainability. That's going to save you some cash. So I did notice that the feed went up. So I bought a 50-pound bag, which had been running around 17 to 18 bucks. It is now $20. So it's up a couple bucks from what it used to be. But that's still not bad. That's at a local feed store. When you go to Walmart, bags that were costing around $12 for a 40-pound bag are now cost like $18 for a 40-pound bag. You can get the 50-pound bag for 20. So I just went that route. It saves you some money. You get an extra 10 pounds of food for $2. So, but anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day. We're going to hop off of here.